All right, so I had somebody come by on my Rumble and leave a couple of comments on the last video I made, which was about what happens pretty much when you die and the ignorance of humans and what they think happens and the reality of the situation. And pretty much anything that I talk about, it's because that's the best information I have available at that time that I've come across based on everything I've learned in my life. That's why I make the videos the way I do. And if I had better information, I would put that out. So what I'm giving you guys is the best I've come across on this planet, right? It is what it is. And if you don't have that depth of knowledge and information, then we really can't have a conversation, right? However, there are people like this person that I'm about to respond to, Verdandi Truth, who will leave comments that get a conversation going, right? And I can tell this person knows a lot. They've, studied whatever they've studied. I don't know to the degree that they know the things that they know. I have an idea of what they know, but they know a lot. They know enough that they can leave comments and we can have some kind of conversation. So after I read their comments, I felt compelled to make a response video because as I was reading it, I was like, wow, there's a lot here that I could, not just respond to them, but also let other people know what I think about it, right? So without further ado, I'm going to get started. If you look on your screen, and you don't have to look on your screen, I'm going to read it as I go. But this is the comment, and as I go, I'll respond in real time. So they said, and this is on the last video. The last video was this one right here. What happens when you die, the afterlife, and the cost of human apathy, ignorance. So their response was, sounds to me the entities you are talking about are the archons. And I believe they just meant to say, sounds to me like the entities you are talking about are the archons, also called angels or jinn. And I've talked about jinn in one of my last few videos. Actually, the last video that I made before I took a break, like 3 or 4 months ago, I was talking about jinn. But anyways, so yeah, archons, angels, jinn, they're basically deceivers. This is the best way to put it. And the way that I talk about these entities that control the world, I lump all of these into one category, and I just call them the evil ones. And the reason why I do that is because there are so many different names across so many different religions and ufology and all this, that, and the other. There are too many names out there, right? Like even here, archons, angels, and jinn, you already hit me with 3 names, right? And this isn't your fault, Verdandi. I'm not saying this is your fault at all. I'm just saying that because of what you're saying here, that's why I simply just call them the evil ones, right? I don't try to get into what are they, where are they from, what planet, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about any of that, and I'll tell you why. Because what I care about is what is their intent for humanity. That's all I care about. If their intent is negative towards humanity, they're evil. If their intent is positive towards humanity, they're good. That's how I basically break all of this down. So anytime you hear me say the evil ones, I'm talking about archons, jinn, demons, reptilians, blah, blah, blah. We can go down the whole list of all these different entities that exist in this category of the evil ones. But instead of me going through all of that and trying to break down each race and where they come from and why they're like this and blah, 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 I don't care about any of that. What I have learned is they all have the same evil intent and they do not give a damn about humanity. They don't care how we feel. They don't care how we think. They don't care what we want. They just want to for whatever purposes they have to control us, destroy us, annihilate us, eat us, whatever evil intent they have, they could give a damn about us. So for me, the way I feel about it is, if they don't care about us, why should I care about them? Meaning, why should I care where they come from? Why should I care why they are that way? What made them that way? What their reasons are? What their, history? I don't care about none of that. All I care about, as you said in one of your sentences later on, the here and now, right? We're here and now. Let's focus on the here and now. And again, for Dandy Truth, I just want you to understand when I'm saying this, I don't have anything negative towards you, because sometimes people get confused. They're like, oh, you're being too hostile or too this, that, and the other. This is how I talk. I'm sure you understand by now. And I don't think you're dumb enough to think that I'm, against you or anything. I'm just very passionate when it comes to this stuff. So I just want people to understand the way I categorize any entity that I come across, the evil ones or the good ones, is very simple. And again, are they positive towards you or negative towards you? Right? That's all you need to know. You don't need to know their history or their planet or anything, what galaxy they come from, where they're living now. None of that stuff matters, honestly. Their names don't even matter. None of this matters. What matters is, are they evil or good towards humanity? That's all that matters. But anyways, I'm kind of beating a dead horse at this point, so let me move on, because this is going to be kind of a long video. Then you said, I agree that one must avoid that trap in the afterlife, lest they end up looping back here. And most likely the process is spiritually painful. Well, again, from all the research that I've done, all the people I've heard talk, my own experiences, yada, 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 there's nothing good that happens when you die. People are misled and deceived into believing that there's a possibility that something good is going to happen. Now, if you're a very powerful soul and you know how to escape the trap, which is this planet, the prison planet we're on, and so be it. You know how to get out of here, good for you. But I'm not talking about that, obviously. I'm not talking about people that know how to get out of here. I'm talking about the people that don't know how to get out of here and that are stuck. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm focusing on, is there are people that will be looped back, that think that they're going to be set free and they're not. Those are the people that I'm talking to when I say, you're going to come back here, right? Now, obviously, if you're going to leave the planet and go somewhere else, this doesn't apply to you, right? But if you're not powerful enough and wise enough and you don't know how to get out of here, then you're stuck. And you're going to have to keep doing this shit over and over and over and over until this planet is completely freed. And the only way to do that is everybody on the planet has to wake up and know what's going on. And then everybody will be free. If that doesn't happen, we're going to keep going through the cycle. This reincarnation cycle of torture and pain will continue to happen until everybody wakes up. That's how it works. Again, this is the best information I have available. It's not something I made up. I didn't make it like this. I'm just basically the messenger at this point. I'm just telling everybody what's going on and what needs to happen, right? And I'm hoping that people learn and listen, and then we can do something about it. But anyways, so the next thing you said is, that said, I don't know what it would entail becoming immortal inside the game they have rigged, if such a thing is even possible. Now, when I say we need to become immortal, first of all, I know it's possible. I wouldn't have said it, right? And again, this is based off of all the information and knowledge that I've come across. But immortal in terms of, and maybe I should have been a little more clear about this, and you kind of touched on it, but there is a way to reverse the aging process. So when I say immortality, and you touched on it again, as you went further, you touched on it, but yeah, you can still die, but you're not supposed to. You know how they say die a natural death? That's not, there is no such thing as dying a natural death. That's just something that we've been conditioned to on earth to believe is a thing, because the way they've programmed our bodies, the way they've created our DNA to cause us to age and to die. We're not supposed to die. Our bodies are supposed to continuously regenerate infinitely. That's the way it's supposed to work. And then the only way you're supposed to leave your body is if you choose to on your own accord. But again, this planet is completely ass backwards. And the way it works here is completely the opposite of that, where you have no control over life and death. And once your body dies, which is not even supposed to happen, guess what? You're gone. And you're not gone to like wherever you want to go. You're gone to wherever they send you. Most likely back to Earth to redo it again after they torture you or whatever. So that's the way it works. And I did say they feast on your soul. Some people might get confused and think, oh, they're going to eat my soul. That means I'm going to die. My soul will cease to exist and that'll be the end of it. Not necessarily. When I say, first of all, your soul, according to everything I've understood, is immortal. Your soul will never die. Your soul will live forever. So when I say feast on your soul, it's just they'll put you in situations, your soul, in torturous situations in the afterlife, and basically make you suffer. And through that suffering, they'll drain that energy that your soul will create and eat it for themselves and feast on it. And once they're done doing that to you, then they'll send your ass back. And that's what I meant by feasting on your soul. So I just wanted to clarify that. But anyways, now let's continue with this. Then you said, example, genetic immortality. If one could alter DNA to be immortal to aging, that would exclude any possibility of time causing demise. And that's exactly what I just explained. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know how it works. I mean, I can't tell you how my computer works. I can't tell you how my phone works. I can't tell you how the internet works. I just know that it works. Same thing with this. I can't tell you how it works, but from everything I've studied and learned and understood from credible people, it is possible to do this. To be genetically immortal, as you put it. But let me continue. Then you said, if one could alter DNA to be immortal to aging, that would exclude any possibility of time causing demise. You would be immortal like the elf Frieren. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. But unlike her, lacking the supernatural ability to prevent other forms of demise. Yes. And that's what I was trying to say. I didn't say it in the way you said it, but that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, your body isn't going to die unless something causes it immense, irreparable damage. That's what I meant by immortality. So, and I mean, if I went further with it, there are ways to become immortal physically as well. But that's a whole nother topic. I'm not about to get into that right now. That's a whole nother level. Just know that you can stop the aging, cause your body to infinitely repair, so that way you never get older. And then also, there's another way where you can become basically impervious to damage. So that's a whole nother thing. I'm not getting into that, like I said. But I did a little research on this Frieren person. And from what I can tell, at least by your post, you watch anime. There are a lot of things, and I've said it on my channel before, that are hidden, a lot of hidden secrets and truths that they put into animes, video games, movies, live action movies, all types of stuff. They'll show you the truth, but because they label it as a movie or an anime or a video game, people have already been programmed, brainwashed, MK Ultra'd into believing that it's fake. And that's 90 that's like 99% of the human population. That they see something in a movie or anime or video game, cartoon or whatever, they're like, this is fake. It's impossible. It can't be real. Even if they see it with their own eyes in the physical world, they still refuse to believe it. That's how brainwashed most of humanity is, right? But you're not one of these people because you're able to see in anime certain things that they're showing and you're able to retain the knowledge, even though at the time that you may have seen it, you might have thought it was, oh, this is a cool concept or whatever. But deep down, you knew there was some truth to it. You just didn't have anybody to confirm for you that this was the truth. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm doing for you now. I hope that you're seeing that I'm basically telling you it is what it is, right? Another thing about animes and video games and, even Marvel movies and stuff like that. A lot of things are based off of my soul. So if you watch the anime, there are a lot of things that have to do with me. I'm not going to, this isn't the video for me to do that. In the future, I'll probably start breaking down each anime and cartoon and video game and all this, that, and the other and explain how it has to do with me. For now, just know that there are a lot of animes based off of my soul. They basically stole information from me and made it into entertainment. And people think it's cute or whatever. I'm like, okay, you guys can enjoy that shit if you want to. But for me, I'm watching my life. And a lot of my personal, I don't know if secret is the right word, but just things that have to do with me that other people won't understand unless they are me. They're showing it to the world and everybody's like, oh, this is so cool. And I'm like, all right, but you guys think it's so cool, but you don't know why they're showing that. And you don't know that it's me. You think it's just some fake BS, but whatever. Again, I'll get into that in the future. I'm not going to do that right here. This isn't a video for that. But anyways, then you said, example, one becomes immortal and gets in an accident on the way home or some disaster strikes. What would prevent that? And if humanity did suddenly become immortal, how would the Archon game masters respond? Would they ignore this or would they program more calamity into the system? I'm not saying that we shouldn't strive to be immortal. I just wonder what that would mean in the long run. Could that potentially give someone enough time to figure out the soul trap? These are important questions considering it's evident these nefarious entities shorten the lives of humans at least twice in the past. Well, you basically answered your own question. The reason why they have shortened our lifespans is because they don't want us to figure out the soul trap and what they're doing. That's the whole thing. Like I said, you answered your own question pretty much. So for me to elaborate a lot on that would be kind of pointless because you have the answers. It's just that you're putting it in a question format. You get what I'm saying? Like, so long story short, yeah, that's the whole point is the longer we live, the more time we have to figure things out and question things and learn things. They don't want that. They want us to live. That's why we're bombarded from when we're young about all these, things that we need to know. Like we got to go to school. We got to, follow what our parents tell us, religions and all this, everything from when we're a child growing up. We're being basically, I don't know what the right word is, but overloaded, I guess, with knowledge and information that's pretty useless, but it makes you a good bot in the human world. It makes you a good slave. It makes you a good human, I guess, right? Where you can fit into society where they want you to fit in. That's the whole point. And then you spend all your time as a child growing up, which are probably the most important years in terms of developing your psyche and who you're going to be and learning things because, as a child, becoming an adult, you develop habits that you pretty much never change throughout the rest of your life. And they condition you to be a good slave, a good bot, right? And once you're done with that, what do? Time to go to work, right? So now you spent the first, let's say, 20 years of your life, give or take a couple of years, going to school and learning how to be a good bot. Then what do you do with that knowledge? You become a bot. You go to work. Now you got to work. Now you got to pay bills. Now you got to survive and eat. God forbid you have a family, right? God forbid you fall in love and get married and you have kids and you do that, because that's just adding on to it. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that you get bombarded with all these things you have to do that you start to rely on the system. And you're like, I need to do these things so that I can prosper, right? So I can survive, so I can pay my bills, so I can eat, so my family can eat. Your mind is always preoccupied with all these survival things since you're a child until pretty much you're an adult, right? And then from then until you're an older adult or middle-aged adult. And what's the age of retirement? At least in the United States, it's 65, right? So the average citizen in the United States, unless you're rich, you pretty much got to work until you're 65 years old, which means you spend your whole adult life being a slave, paying bills, and trying to survive and eat. And then you get to be an old person. You finally maybe get Social Security and you retire, but you're so fucking old that you can't do shit. You can't go and explore the world, enjoy your life, have fun, learn. You can't do anything. You're 65 years old. You might as well be dead. So do you see the design? This is the design. This is what they've done to humans. And that's why I tell people, I'm like, you guys need to wake the fuck up and see what's happening to you, because your life's going to pass you by. And by the time you realize you want to do something and fix the world, you're going to be too old to do anything. That's why this whole thing that people have about, oh, my life, I have so many important things I need to do. No, you don't. That's what they've told you and made you believe. And again, sadly, this isn't going to work unless it's done collectively, meaning everybody has to do it. Because if one or two people want to get off the system or off the grid and just try to fix the world, it's not going to work. Those people are just going to get fucked, right? Everybody has to wake the fuck up and say, fuck this shit. We don't want to do this anymore. We want to have a free life and we want to do whatever we want. That's what true freedom is. Basically being off of the grid, off of, paying bills and working and doing all the shit, and still being able to have the things you need to survive. That's what true freedom is. Until we get there, this world's not going to change at all. Like, we're going to continue to do the same shit over and over and over. And again, that's why they want us, like, they've already manufactured and programmed the society to work in this manner in which first 20 years you go to school, the next 40 to 50 years you're working, and then you retire and you die. You don't even get to enjoy your Social Security because you're going to die. That's the game. Like, they take all your money, make you work, and then you die. You get nothing. Like, you just spend your whole life doing nothing, basically. Just being a slave to some rich motherfucker in a corporation. That's all that it is. That's all we're doing. That's what everybody's doing. Right? Who isn't doing this? If you're not one of the rich people, you're pretty much doing what I just said. I can't think of somebody that isn't doing this. Unless you're just homeless and you don't have anything, right? Or unless you're one of those primitive people that live in the jungles in Africa or South America, wherever, where you just are completely off the grid and you're living in the jungle age, I call it, not the stone age, but you're living in the jungle age where you are away from technology and you have nothing. You're doing all these crazy rituals and sacrifices and weird religions that these aliens and evil entities taught you, and you think you're cool, but you're not. And the whole world looks at you like you're some kind of zoo animal. Unless you're one of those people, you're doing exactly what I just said, which is slaving away for some rich motherfucker so they can make money and have whatever they want and do whatever they want. They're completely free, but we're the slaves. That's how this shit works. And it keeps on going like that. And let me tell you about these rich motherfuckers that control the world, these evil motherfuckers. They know Everything I'm telling you about immortality, you know what they do? When their body is about to die or gets old or they don't want to live in that body anymore, they simply transfer their soul to a new vessel. Period. They have the technology to do that. They can clone their body. As a matter of fact, they have many clones of their bodies. So if one fails, they take the soul out, put it in another body. And on and on and on. These motherfuckers never die. So they've already figured out the shit I'm telling. They haven't just figured it out. They've been doing this shit forever. That's why the world has never changed and why it's been the way it's been the whole time. Because they've maintained control throughout history. It's the same people doing the same shit. They just keep changing the names and the countries and who's in control this time. This time it's going to be the Americans. Next time it's going to be the Chinese. Next time it's going to be the Russians. Next time it's going to be, the Roman Empire, whatever. They can, and I'm going backwards through history or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is they decide who they want to control the world. And that society that they've deemed controls the world. And if it's not just one, they'll have two, whatever they want to do. It's what I'm trying to say, right? It's the same people doing the same shit. Never fucking changes. All right. Now, let's see your next post. So after I responded to you, then you said, thanks. I have been looking into the soul trap since 2014. In fact, it is the main reason I left religion. The proof that so much nefarious stuff exists in this realm, the fact that the world is set around suffering, and a jealous God who threatens eternal torment for those who don't obey his vague laws. So think about that, right? People talk about how great and good God is, yet he's a jealous and wrathful God. You can't be a good and great God and be a wrathful and jealous God. If you're almighty and omnipotent and you know everything, you should never be jealous and you should never be wrathful because you already know what's going to happen, right? The only way you're going to be wrathful and jealous is if you didn't plan or see something happening that's going to cause you to become jealous and wrathful, because you're going to have to destroy people for doing things like disobeying your rules and laws that they don't even understand. Right? Long story short, all the Bible stories are full of shit. I'm not saying they didn't happen. There's a lot of misinterpretation or deliberate altering of knowledge and information so that people don't know what the fuck is going on. That's the whole point. So a lot of things in the Bible did happen. It's just that the way that it's been said and written has been altered to confuse humans. That's why I'm not a Bible thumper or somebody that's like, oh, I'm going to read the Bible and figure everything. I don't need to do that. I've done it in the past. I've taken, like every religion has their good in it, right? You take the good and leave the bad. The problem with religions that people can't seem to figure out is they want to take the whole religion as a whole and just go with the whole thing. They can't just take the good shit and leave the bad shit. They have to take the whole fucking thing and say it's all or nothing. And the same people that say it's all or nothing, when you point out an inconsistency in their religion, like, oh, I don't know, in the Bible it says slavery is a good thing. You point something like that out and they're like, oh, no, not that part. Wait. I thought you were all or nothing. So now you're not all or nothing, right? Now you see that there's a problem, but you don't want to acknowledge that there's a problem. So which one is it? Is it you believe everything in the Bible or you don't? You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's why religions were made for stupid and retarded people. Very low IQ people believe in religions. When I was growing up, I didn't have a choice. I wasn't stupid or low IQ, but I was forced by my family to go to church, to read the Bible and do all the shit that I didn't want to do, even though I knew it was bullshit. But because of my family, I was forced into it. And guess what happened when I got old enough not to listen to my fucking family? I did what the fuck I wanted and I stopped doing it because I knew it was bullshit. The only reason I did it is because of my family. It's that simple. And that's why most people do it, because they're brainwashed into it from when they're a small child. They don't know any better. They're just listening to their parents and their family. That's why most people are religious. Not because they actually know or believe anything that's in there. It's in any book or any religion. It's just they've been forced to against their will. But whatever. Then you said the fact that certain quote scriptures imply that being good isn't enough or having the right intentions, that one can't make any errors interpreting a confusing book tells me all I need to know about that so-called deity. Well, I'll do you one better. How about you're born with original sin? How about as a baby, you have to bear the burden of original sin and you're already doomed basically to go to hell, and you have to spend the rest of your life repenting and trying to clean a mess that you didn't make. That's how they get you, right? Is you're a sinner. Jesus died for your sins. Therefore, you must repent for the rest of your life and pray and pray to God, literally pray to God that you get into heaven. And the people that are saying this swear up and down they can speak for God. I'm like, who the fuck are you? You're a normal human. How do you know that what you're saying is the truth? You're not God. Why should I listen to you? Do you see what I'm saying? Just think about this. Anybody watching this right now? The people in your life that have told you to believe in God and religions are humans. God has never told you anything, ever. And if I hear some dumb motherfucker come and tell me, oh, God was speaking through Aunt Millie or whatever, you're making some bullshit up. You don't know that. You don't fucking know that. But you want me to believe you? You want me to listen to you when you're full of shit and you're trying to bullshit me? Fuck you. That's why I don't. I'll give you guys a story real quick. I had a dude tell me how he became religious, right? And I let him tell me his story. And nothing he said convinced me to believe that his story was actually a real story and authentic. I was waiting for the part where something happened that told me that God spoke to him or something like that. You know what this dude told me? He said because he made so many mistakes and he realized that he was doing something wrong and he turned to religion. And that was the only answer he had, that he knew that God wanted this for him. I'm like, wait, so you didn't talk to God. God didn't tell you to do anything. You just fucked up and you saw your mistakes. And then you decided to turn to religion. So basically you became a good person, realizing your own errors by yourself. Nobody told you anything. You just figured it out. And then you tried to use religion to stay on that straight and narrow path, right? And that has what to do with God exactly? Isn't that you just figuring shit out and realizing you fucked up and now you need to do better? That has nothing to do with God. That's why I said people that are religious, they were good people and they turned to religion. Religions don't make anyone good. There are a lot of evil people that are religious. If religions made people good, you wouldn't have evil people that are religious. That's why, oh man, I can go really deep into this. But long story short, let's just stick with this for now. Religions don't make people good. Good people just so happen to turn to religion. And they use that as, I want to say a crutch, but more like an enhancement to their already positive thinking. That's all that it is. And if that works for you and it makes you feel better and you think it's keeping you as a good person, good. Whatever works, right? As long as you're not doing evil shit, cool. I don't care. But stop trying to tell me that you need religion to be a good person. Here, let me help you guys out. Let me give you the ultimate cheat code. Did you know that the knowledge existed before the book? Meaning anything you learned in the Bible or before the religion was created, which was actually after Christ. Christianity, right? It was created after Christ. Anything you've learned from that was already in existence before it was written in the book and before Christ even showed up. What does that mean? The knowledge exists with or without the book, with or without Christ. It's already been there. It's just people decided to write it down. If you believe in this, right? So what does that tell you? You only need the morals. That's it. You don't need the stories and this God and this person and that and the other and this person did this and this person did. You don't need all that bullshit. All you need is What are the morals that make people good? You don't need the book for that. You don't need to go to church for that. People know what's right and wrong. Evil people know that they're doing evil shit. They just like to do evil shit. That's why they're evil. It's not that they don't know. It's just that they just naturally are evil people. So they do evil shit. A lot of people are just controlled by demons. But long story short, religions don't make anybody good. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyways, I've said enough about that. Let me keep going. Then you said, even the scripture that says, Lord, didn't we do this and that for you? And the God sends them to the tormentors anyways, claiming he never knew them. Now that is a loophole in salvation that suggests this is the default procedure of the archons. Well, yeah, the whole point of it is to keep you enslaved and to give your power away to some imaginary entity. And they, basically take control over that energy. If humans stop giving their power away and said, I'm strong by myself, I don't need God, I don't need religion, I can do things on my own, the world would change instantly. Because these demons that control the world, they're hoping that people give away their power to them and to the systems they've created. That's how they keep their power, is by leeching off of the power that humans give them. If humans don't give them that power, they can't do shit. The whole system will crumble. But humans are too stupid to figure this out. And that's the whole point of me making my channel and talking and saying the things I'm saying, is to help people, hopefully, to learn and understand that they don't need to do this stupid shit. That's the goal. Anyways. Then you said, I once met a guy online codenamed Luxu. I didn't agree with everything he said, but he did make a strong case that our reality was invaded from entities from some other universe, and they transformed it into a loose farm to transfer energy to keep themselves immortal. So that's the vampire on a cosmic scale. Well, that's where Dracos, Dracula, reptilians, all of that shit comes from. Vampires. That's where vampires come from. They're energy vampires. That's what this whole Earth was created for. That's why you have all the suffering, war, lack. People are lacking. They don't have food. They don't have medicine. They don't have a home, clean water. People can't pay their bills. They lack money. They have to work. If they don't work, they can't pay their bills. There's a lack of love. There's a lack of actual genuine care for your fellow human. All these things that humans do on this planet, and all the fascinations that humans have with evil shit, like, watching evil movies where there's killing and massacres and stuff like that. All the things that humans do, everything that humans do contributes directly to this loose farm that you're speaking of, which is what these evil, draconic, vampiric, demonic, archons, reptilians, whatever you want to call them, they eat that energy. It's a feast. It's like a delicacy, right? It's a snack, whatever you want to call it, a drug. There's, classify it how you want, but they eat the energy and they enjoy it. That's the whole point of anything that we do as humans on this planet, is to feed them. That's it. That's what the whole system is. Like, we're going to work, we're working, we're paying bills, we're paying taxes, we're supporting governments that start wars and kill people, which in turn causes suffering, which leads to more energy, negative energy creation, which they eat, and so on and so forth. You see where this is going, right? Like, it's a continuous, it's a machine. It's a machine. It's a matrix. They've constructed it purposely to do these things to humans, to feed themselves. Nothing we do on this planet is for humanity. Nothing we do. None of these countries, governments, languages, cultures, all these rituals people do, all this dumb shit people do. Like, I see people in the middle of the jungles doing weird shit to their chins and to their eyelids, and all these piercings and tattoos and all this weird shit people do. All that shit is empowering these demons even further. But these humans are too retarded to know what's happening, and they think it's cool. I'm like, this shit ain't cool. You're not doing anything good. Oh, what a great culture they have. No, they have a retarded, primitive, dumb culture that doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And that's not just the people in the jungle. That's everybody. People taking pride in languages and The whole point of languages is to separate people, to confuse people so people can't even communicate. That's the whole point. There's nothing beautiful about having a million fucking languages. Just a bunch of dumb shit that people, it confuses people. There's no point of it. That's why you have all these barriers in these countries where people separate themselves and say, I don't want to talk to you. You have a different culture than me. You don't even speak the same language. We can't even communicate. We're not going to get along. All it does is cause division. Yet people take pride in this shit because they're too stupid to see the evil that's been thrown upon them. And they've been deceived into taking pride into shit that actually hurts them. That's what's happening with humanity. Then you said, to be honest, I don't know if it was invasion or if this realm was evil from the start, but one thing remains, it's certainly a malevolent realm now. And that's what I was saying earlier about you said the here and now, right? Yeah, that's it. That's why I say it doesn't matter what, like there's so many stories, right? Oh, the reptilians came from somewhere, the archons, this race came here, they came from another planet, another universe, another galaxy, another dimension, all this, none of that matters. What matters is here and now. Look at what's just open your eyes, look at what's happening right now. You can see the evil in front of you. And again, to help humans, because humans are too stupid to understand basic shit. So I'm like, look, let's not talk about all the different races and where they come from and all of that. Let's focus on good versus bad. Simple. If it's in your interest, if it helps you and benefits you, it's a good thing. If it's not, if it's trying to kill you or hurt you in any way or causes you any problems or damage in life, it's a bad thing. It's that simple. These entities, all the systems they constructed and the way they run the planet, it's all malevolent. It's all evil. None of it's good. None of it is made to benefit humanity. Yet people are so retarded that they take pride in shit that hurts them. That's how stupid humans are. But, it's funny you say this because I've had a thought. And this is one of the reasons why I took a break from YouTube. I started to think that I was like, are humans just... Either humans are evil themselves and they're okay with this. That's why they're okay living like this. And they're just evil demons. Or they're just destined to fail. And you can't help these people. That was one of the main reasons why I took a break. It wasn't the only reason. But I was like, humans just don't want to learn. Humans just don't want to fix this planet. They don't want to do better. They are content with the shit and the garbage that surrounds them. And when I see that, it makes my job much harder. Because the only reason why I'm talking and the only reason why I have this fucking channel is to wake people up. And if I see people don't want to wake up and they want to live in this nonsense and they think this is okay, this is the way, this is life. That's just the way things are. Things could be much worse, right? Instead of saying things could be better, why don't we improve the world? It's always looking on the negative side. Oh, things could be worse. Be glad you have what you have. No, it shouldn't be like this. This isn't good enough. Not for me. Maybe for you fucking idiots, but not for me. That's the way I see it. And guess what? My personal life is pretty good. It's much better than it was 4 months ago. Yet, that doesn't mean that I'm, completely blind to the shit that's going on around me. And I'm just going to bury my head in the sand and say, now that my life is good, that means the whole world is good. Everything is good now. There's no more killing magically. There's no more suffering magically. There's no more evil shit going on. Everything is good. No, it's not. If it was, I would keep my fucking mouth shut. But guess what? I'm still fucking talking. So obviously shit is fucked up. All right, next thing. And again, Verdandi, this isn't towards you. This is just my general frustration with humanity. I'm ranting and getting, energized, but it's not towards you. I hope you understand. Anyways, all these stories of kids with monsters in the closet or under the bed is also very telling. Why would children be afraid of closets? It makes no sense unless the archons use closets similar to what is depicted in Monsters, Inc. Well, from my understanding, from the way I'm starting to see things is closets, doors, rooms, houses. It seems to have some like when humans create things, they put energy behind it. And on the other side, in terms of the astral realm or whatever you want to call it, they actually turn like doors and closets into gateways to other dimensions. So that's why you'll see certain things coming through in that way. That's a whole supernatural thing. I'll probably talk about that in the future. But long story short, you're onto something when you're saying what you're saying. And then you said in the anime Bataka Magica, said that wrong. Earth was literally a soul gem farm in the Archon. Kyubey was looshing off humanity. He would get people to sign deceptive soul contracts. In Higurashi, there's an entity called Featherine who is in charge of the Archon cast. This entity gets people trapped in time loops where they are tormented, reborn, and repeat the cycle millions of times. This is some truly nefarious stuff. See, and I'm going to say this again. A lot of things they show in animes, movies, cartoons, all this stuff, you know, comic books and all of that, they put it in video games. They put it in there because it's basically spitting in your face. They're basically saying, look how stupid you dumb humans are that we can show you the truth and you'll never fucking figure it out. You're going to think it's fake simply because we condition you to believe that anything in these things is fake. So when you see an anime or a movie, oh, it's just a movie. It's just an anime. It's fake. Oh, it can't be real. So it's so bad with humans that even when they see something in real life, like, I don't know, the drones or anything like that were coming, you know, over New Jersey and all over the world, they're like, oh, that's fake. It's a UFO. It can't be real. No, that's just a drone. Like, people have such ridiculous cognitive dissonance because they've been brainwashed to believe that anything that's supernatural is automatically fake. And they're too retarded to figure out the truth. So again, that's why I exist, right? I'm trying to tell people what's going on and wake them up. But Verdandi, you seem to know a lot of things, and I can assure you that if you've seen something in an anime or a movie or video game and you thought it was real or has some legitimacy to it, it probably was. 9 times out of 10, I would say most of the things you've seen from your experiences, they are real and they resonate with you, and that's why you're repeating it back to me here, because you felt something with it and you were like, man, this seems like it could be a real thing. And again, they put these things into these shows and it's basically mocking you, right? They're like, look, we're showing you what's really happening, but since you're too stupid to figure it out, we're just going to show you and you're never going to know that it's real. Yet you do know it's real. Your subconscious knows, but your conscious mind may be doubting it. And again, I'm not just talking to you, but I'm talking to anybody watching this that'll see something and they might doubt it because, oh, it's a movie or it's an anime or whatever. But anyways, I think I've said enough. I think you get the point. I hope this was insightful for whoever watched this. If you guys have any more questions or anything else you want to talk about, feel free to leave it in the comment section. And these are the kind of videos that I like making because it gets me talking. And to be honest, I'm having a hard time speaking. This happens to me every single time I come back from a long break. I start making videos and it's hard, like something happens where it's hard for me to talk. I don't know why. But after I make a few videos, I'll get back in the groove and I'll be okay. But anyways, I guess I'm putting too much energy into it or whatever. But whatever the case is, I hope you guys got something out of this. Verdandi, if there's anything else you want to talk about, feel free to leave more comments. I'll respond to them. And I hope this helps you out in some way, even though I feel just from the things you've said that you already know what you're talking about. You maybe you just want some confirmation from somebody else. And I'm trying to give you as much confirmation as I can give you. Anyways, for everybody else, if you like, comment, subscribe, share where you can. Hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.